Welcome to Politics and Why with Sky. This is the Schneps Media Cannabis Power 100 Industry Leaders, and I'm proud to have with me Allan Gandleman. He is the president of the New York Cannabis Growers and Processors Association. So tell us about the association and how you got into this role.
So our association was formed 3 years ago. I'm the founder and the president. I got into the role because I have been an organic farmer in upstate New York for the last 10 years. And 4 of those years, I have been growing hemp for CBD, and I also have a full, extraction and manufacturing facility where we make CBD products. And I got into the role because I'm one of the first people in New York State to be doing this, and the state did not have a clear path to a regulatory environment, to growing, to testing, to processing and manufacturing. And so I started the association to make sure that we were lobbying on behalf of small farmers and small businesses across New York State as they were getting into hemp and CBD, and eventually, knowing we would be all getting into the adult use cannabis and legalization. And 3 years later, here we are. So a lot of us are getting ready to now transition our farms and our operations and add THC and adult use to what we're currently growing and manufacturing.
Yeah, so the legalization happened in March of 2021, but there's still no clear rules or regulations. So how does that impact you?
So for us, the next steps are, waiting till the regulations come out, which should happen in the next month or two. After that, making sure that we can all the small farmers around New York State can get a license to start growing. And we're planning for that to happen, this year. So hopefully we'll be able to plant an outdoor crop in May of 2022, which then doesn't get harvested until the fall of 2022. So hopefully by the time we grow and harvest the crop, we have a group of dispensaries that are open in all over the state of New York that we can begin supplying to.
Wow. When you say outdoor crop, I imagine this growing inside, so it can grow outside also?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of states allow only inside, in big warehouses, but that's very expensive. It's very industrial, and it's not very environmentally sustainable because you're using a lot of electricity and heat. And so farms like us who have been growing, cannabis outdoors for many, many years know that we can grow the crop outside. And we can do it on a pretty good size scale and grow a good quality crop. And so we plan on doing that in New York. We'll be one of the few states that allow outdoor growing, but because New York has a lot of really ambitious climate goals and making sure that everything we're doing is sustainable, growing outdoor is actually the most sustainable way to grow cannabis.
Wow. What other farming tidbits do you have for us?
That, when we look at growing outdoor cannabis, it's kind of, for New York, it's going to be very much to growing local vegetables, just how you shop at your local market. There's a lot of small farmers there. They're growing a very diverse range of crops, tomatoes, lettuce, potatoes, all those kinds of things. All those little farms have the infrastructure to grow a little bit of cannabis. And so maybe they're only going to grow 20 or 100 plants or something, something small scale, something manageable, and then sell it, to their local dispensaries. That's really the goal of our association, is to promote a very decentralized industry, to make sure that, everyone who wants to be a part of the cannabis industry can be a part of it. And you don't need, mega millions of dollars to get into it. And we do want people to get into it at a craft scale, really focusing on what they're doing, just how we have craft beer, doing craft cannabis. You're just a smaller operation and you're selling locally, and your customers, and you could have a high quality product. So that's really the direction that our association is looking to promote the industry towards.
Yeah, no, it sounds really exciting. I'm sitting here with this huge smile on my face because I'm imagining it. How long do you think it would take before we get to a place where we see that?
I think if the Office of Cannabis Management and the governor and the legislature really wanted this to happen, we could see all of this starting to happen in the next year, as long as we can plant this year. Because, if farmers in New York cannot plant in May of 2022, we have to wait a whole nother year, which would be May of 2023. And it takes 6 months to grow. So it could be a while, if people don't really get moving on these regulations. But, from the governor's announcement in her state of the state, and from what the Office of Cannabis Management is doing, it looks like they're going to be able to pull this off and get some regulations out, get grant funding in place for the social equity applicants to start opening dispensaries. And so I think right now people are pretty positive that we could pull this off this year.
Wow. Okay. It sounds really exciting. Allan Gandleman, thank you so much. And congratulations on being honored as our Cannabis Power 100. It's really exciting. And we look forward to more good news from the New York Cannabis Growers and Processors Association.
Thank you so much.